Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Abdur Rafe Sohail. First, the headlines. Prime Minister has reached the United Arab Emirates to condole death of brother of the UAE President. In connection with 9th Muharram today, Tazia and Zuljana processions were carried out in different parts of the country in memory of martyrs of Karbala. At the United Nations, Pakistan has called for Israel to be held accountable for its crimes in the occupied Palestine. Indian government has admitted the disappearance of around 10,000 innocent women in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. World Hepatitis Day was observed today to create awareness about deadly disease. And Pakistani mountaineer Muhammad Hassan has died during an attempt to summit the K2. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif has reached the United Arab Emirates on a day-long visit. The Prime Minister is visiting the UAE to condole the death of Sheikh Saeed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the brother of UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Shehbaz Sharif will commiserate with the UAE President on behalf of the entire Pakistani nation. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif says Pakistan's progress is linked to that of Balochistan. In a tweet today, the Prime Minister said Balochistan has been a victim of our collective neglect. The province has not progressed at par with other federating units, which is embarrassing. He said the people of Balochistan have the first right on the resources of the province. When their lives and those of their children change for the better, they will own development. Yom Ashur, the 10th of Muharram al-Haram, will be observed tomorrow across the country with due solemnity to pay homage to the supreme sacrifice rendered by Hazrat Imam Hussain Raziyallahu Anhu and his devoted companions in Karbala. Morning processions will be taken out in all cities and towns of the country. Ulema and Zakireen will highlight the bright and candid teachings of Hazrat Imam Hussain Raziyallahu Anhu and various aspects of Karbala tragedy. Elaborate security arrangements have been made to avoid any untoward incident during the morning processions. In connection with 9th Muharram today, Tazia and Zuljana processions were taken out in different parts of the country in memory of martyrs of Karbala. In the federal capital, the main procession of Tazia and Zuljana took out from Markazi Imam Bargah G62, which is passing through its traditional route and will terminate at the same place. In Karachi, the main procession was taken out from Nishtar Park. The procession, after following its traditional route through Old Numasi, Sadr, Empress Market, Regal Chowk, M.A. Jinnah Road and Bolton Market, will culminate at Hussainiya Iranian Imam Bargah in the evening. In Peshawar, the main procession of 9th Muharram was taken out from Imam Bargah Hussainiya Hall, Sadr Road this morning. The procession, after passing through its traditional routes, will terminate at its starting point in the evening. Similar processions were also taken out in Kohat, Hangu, Dera Ismail Khan and Kurram districts. The main procession of 9th Muharram in Lahore started from Pandu Street, Islampura, in which mourners are paying their respects to the martyrs of Karbala. In Gilgit, the main procession took off from Imam Bargah, Qasr Akbar Dakpura. The procession of Alam and Zuljana passed through Amir Jahandar Shah Punyal Road, culminating at the main Jamia Imamia Mosque, Gilgit. Ulema and Zakireen are highlighting the bright and candid teachings of Hazrat Imam Hussain Raziyallahu Anhu and various aspects of Karbala tragedy. Elaborate security arrangements have been made to avoid any untoward incident during the morning processions. Pakistan's stock exchange remained best performing market in the world during the current month with a US dollar gain of 15%. The benchmark KSE 100 index is at 20 months high, reaching 47,077, the volume of 28 billion rupees yesterday, and remained high at 19 months. The main factors of this rally are IMF deal, dollars inflows from different friendly countries, increasing foreign exchange reserve, and falling inflation. Pakistan Governance Forum 2023 has called for immediate implementation of stable, transparent, agile and responsible governance system in the country. The call was made through a resolution adopted today at the conclusion of a two-day forum organized by Ministry of Planning, Development and Special Initiatives in Islamabad. The resolution emphasized that continuity of inclusive, consultative and evidence-based policies is inevitable for stability. This news bulletin comes to you from Radio Pakistan. At the United Nations, Pakistan has urged the Security Council to fully and forcefully implement its resolutions on the Middle East conflict that give the right of self-determination to the Palestinian people. Speaking in the 15-member council, Ambassador Munir Akram also strongly condemned the recent large-scale Israeli military operations in Jenin, in occupied Palestinian West Bank, and called for holding Israel accountable for its grave human rights violations and crimes in the occupied Palestine. The Pakistani envoy said, unfortunately, the killing of children, women and men continues in occupied Palestine with complete impunity. Pakistan's ambassador to the United States, Masood Khan, separately met with Senator Todd Young, Chairman, Armed Services Committee, Congressman Mike Rogers, and Deputy Chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, in Washington, D.C., and discussed Pakistan-U.S. relations, especially in the fields of economy, security, defense, and climate change. They also discussed regional developments and agreed to continue engagement. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation will hold an extraordinary virtual meeting on Monday to discuss response to the repeated proactive action of religious hatred and desecration of Holy Quran in some European countries. The meeting of Council of Foreign Ministers of member state will also consider final statement issued by the Executive Committee. The Indian government has admitted the disappearance of around 10,000 innocent women in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Indian Minister of State for Home Ajay Mishra told Rajya Sabha, the upper house of Indian Parliament, the other day that 9,765 women in the categories above and below 18 have gone missing in occupied Kashmir since 2019. He informed that in these 3 years, there were 1,148 cases of missing girls below the age of 18 and 8,617 women aged above 18. Meanwhile, the vice chairman of All Parties Hurriyat Conference, Ghulam Ahmad Gulzar, in a statement issued in Srinagar, said, "The 5th August is one of the most tragic, painful and catastrophic days in the modern history of occupied Kashmir." World Hepatitis Day was observed today to create awareness about deadly disease. Annual observance focuses attention on the huge impact of viral hepatitis infection, with more than 350 million people worldwide living with either chronic hepatitis B or C. In his message on the occasion, President Dr. Arif Alvi reaffirmed the commitment to make the prevention, control and eradication of hepatitis a national priority. The president said Pakistan has the largest population of hepatitis C patients at around 10 million. It is our duty to proactively screen our entire population and promptly treat hepatitis-positive individuals. He said we must immediately reduce the factors that increase the risk of hepatitis. The president said we need to create awareness among people about prevention, screening and treatment of hepatitis. Pakistani mountaineer Muhammad Hassan has died during an attempt to summit the K2. Muhammad Hassan, who was from the district Shigar of Gilgit-Baltistan, died when this huge avalanche hit him near the bottleneck at the end of his summit. It was impossible to bring the mountaineer back, so he was buried at the spot he died. Deputy Commissioner Shigar has confirmed his death. And finally, the weather report. Widespread rain, wind and thunder shower is expected in Islamabad, Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Kashmir, while scattered places in East Balochistan, Upper Sindh and Gilgit-Baltistan during the next 12 hours. Heavy falls are likely to occur in Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Northeast Balochistan, South Punjab, Upper Punjab and Potohar region during the period. And now the headlines once again. Prime Minister has reached the United Arab Emirates to condole death of brother of the UAE President. In connection with 9th Muharram today, Tazia and Zuljanah processions were carried out in different parts of the country in memory of martyrs of Karbala. At the United Nations, Pakistan has called for Israel to be held accountable for its crimes in occupied Palestine. Indian government has admitted the disappearance of around 10,000 innocent women in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. World Hepatitis Day was observed today to create awareness about the deadly disease. And Pakistani mountaineer Muhammad Hassan has died during an attempt to summit the K2. And that is all for now. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.